The collaborative team meeting is an integral part of an organization's collaborative response. But how is it different than other meetings where we are discussing our key partners, clients, or those we're trying to support? The secret of the power of the collaborative team meeting is, in order to support your partners or clients, you don't discuss them in the meeting. What? Let's find out how.
For years, Kurtis and Lorna have championed a mindset known as collaborative response in educational organizations across the world. Education often looks to business for guidance and transferable approaches to leadership and organizational success. But what might organizations learn from highly collaborative and successful leadership in schools? Join our guides, Kurtis and Lorna, as they explore a collaborative response mindset for organizational success.
All right, in this first episode of Collaborative Response for Organizational Success, we're going to dive into the collaborative team meeting. Now, this series that we're doing around collaborative response is really taking a lot of the learning that we've been doing over the last 16, 17 years in schools to build out a collaborative response, an organizational framework that is very, very intentional and strategic in its design. But we started thinking, what would this look like if we could expand into other organizations, into others' business? And thought, well, we have the perfect guinea pig to try this on, our own organization. We are Jigsaw Learning, which is an educational consulting company that supports a number of schools and districts across our home province of Alberta, Canada, as well as others across not only North America, but Australia, Iceland, and other countries as well. So, could we try taking some of these principles to our own organization? As we walk through this series over the next number of months, we're going to share our learning and what it is that we've been discovering about the principles and foundational components that are integral to collaborative response. So when we think about collaborative response, we talk about three foundational components: the collaborative structures and processes, the data and evidence that we collect, and then our continuum of supports, which is about how we go about supporting those in which we serve or those that pay for services that we're providing. So we're going to focus in on the collaborative team meeting first. Now, the collaborative team meeting is complex. In the future, we hope to be able to provide some different video clips of what it looks like, but it's absolutely integral to that first foundational component, which is the collaborative structures and processes. So in the collaborative team meeting, there are some really interesting psychological dynamics that are in play that are all about building vulnerability, safety, and in time, a really solutions-focused perspective. So the two main components, and again, you can learn more about this if you're on YouTube watching this. Down in the description, there is a blog series about different things to consider from a school perspective, but they are easily transferable into any organization. So when we think about first, we want to be able to establish some norms. The norms are really about how we agree that we're going to interact when we are coming together as a team. So being able to not only review, but let's pick one that we'll practice. Then the second, and again, in the blog series, there's more around team norms and some further thoughts around those. That'll be a topic for one of our episodes in the future, focused specifically on those. Then we want to be able to jump into celebrations. Now, lots of times organizations will say, we don't have time. We have a very concise amount of time and we need to get to what are our issues, but we recommend don't skip the celebrations. When done correctly, it's a great way to leverage expertise around the room and help build everybody's toolbox. So our organization tried our first collaborative team meeting, and in Jigsaw Learning, who we're trying to support are our partners. The schools or districts that have contracted us to come in and provide supports for them. So we start off our celebrations by saying, who has a partner and a celebration to share? One of our team members said, I have this particular partner and my celebration is during a recent consultation. They really opened up and could share things in that I haven't heard from them in the past around just feeling trust in our relationship. And so the question that then a facilitator posed is, so what did you do that led to that success? And when the individual started to share how they had gone about building that, everyone else in the room could glean learning from that, could hear ideas and strategies that others are utilizing for their own success that we could adopt in other situations and with other partners. That celebrations, although not intended to be a long chunk of time, is a really important part of that collaborative team meeting. Then the next part is the game changer, where we talk about what are the key issues. Now, normally, if we were to say, where are you struggling? We might have somebody say, I'm really struggling with this particular partner or this organization I'm working with, and we go down a rabbit hole with everything that's going on. In a collaborative team meeting, we want to focus in on just one key issue. So one of our team members said that they are currently working with a partner where one of their leaders is having a little bit of trouble engaging in implementation on a grander scale. They were having trouble taking the things that they were able to do in a smaller role and leverage that into a role that now had them interacting with a number of different schools of unique sizes and settings, some that they hadn't had experience working in. So we identified that the key issue is a leader's skill set in regards to implementation in new settings. Then we asked the rest of our team, does anyone else work with a partner where you're also seeing that concern? No stories, just the names. What this does is it reassures the first person that it's not just them. There's others that also struggle with this. By attaching names, we can put faces for when it comes to some action that we'll get to in a moment. But then when we do that as well, we build that psychological safety, the ability for people to be vulnerable in sharing their struggles. But then we turn into not focusing on the partner or the client, it's the key issue. So what could we do to build a leader skill set? Now, the interesting thing within our own organization is that conversation went for 18 minutes, and within it we surfaced 22 ideas that we could be trying. It led to 9 action steps that were not only taken by our team members, but other things of, we should try this as an organization. What if we went and built this resource as a support? The problem solving and solution focused mentality was absolutely off the charts, and you could see everybody's toolbox growing as we went through. Then there's the accountability part where we come back and say, for the first person, for the partner, what's one thing that you're going to try to help address the key issue you brought up? Next person, for the partner you mentioned, what's one thing you're going to try? Everyone is accountable, and it's through that collaborative team meeting process that we really take a solutions-focused approach that radically transforms how we're going about meeting around difficult issues that we may be experiencing as an organization. So in future episodes, we are going to give further thoughts around the collaborative team meeting, and then expand upon, as an organization, how do you use each of those foundational components of collaborative response to build out structures and intentionality that lead to huge increases in organizational success. So, love to hear your thoughts. Respond back. My contact information is there. Let us know what you think. Excited to share as we continue along this journey. We know there's going to be learning challenges, mistakes, and successes that will be felt as we live through this process of establishing a collaborative response in our own organization. All right, thanks everyone. Take care and all the best.
For more on collaborative response, visit jigsawlearning.ca or join the JL Insider to receive access to newly added resources and content. Make sure to follow us on social media. Subscribe to the podcast and the Jigsaw Learning YouTube channel to access past and upcoming episodes. Join us again as we continue to explore collaborative response for organizational success.